Okay, we'll get started now anyway. Everyone should be here now. Right, thanks for joining me on your lunch break, or hopefully it's a lunch break for some. Today we're going to be going over MYOB Advanced and the new version which is coming out very shortly. It's due to be released in June or July. You'll see though that I don't have MYOB Advanced open. I've got Acumatica open, so you should all be aware that MYOB Advanced is branded as such, but it's actually another program worldwide called Acumatica. I just don't have an MYOB Advanced demo database to show you, but everything looks and feels exactly the same apart from just the logo in the top left-hand corner, which I've just clicked on there, called Acumatica, but everything else will look the same. So MYOB Advanced bring out updates regularly throughout the year, and they just automatically get applied. And this update, which will get applied in June or July, is no different. It'll just get automatically applied to your site overnight, and when you log in the morning, you'll notice the differences. Normally with updates, they are how would you say, include new features or enhancements to existing features. This one's a little different, where it does have new features, but it also changes the whole look and feel of Advanced. So you'll see that now that we've logged in here, this is the main landing page, that we don't have the modules and suites which you'd typically see along the top of the screen. And now you can see a list of what we call workspaces down the left-hand side. So what I'm going to go over today with you is the workspaces area, how they function, and also a couple of the new features which they've included in this release. By now you should have also received a link from either Blair or myself for your demo site, which MYOB have set up for you, so you can log into your own environment with your own data and see this layout, so you can become familiarized with this look and feel, and also pass on this knowledge to other people in your organization, so other people are aware of the impending changes to their workflow. It will be a bit of a shock if some were to log in and click on the normal modules and suites, but now that's no longer possible. Yeah, so we'll get into it. And also, if there are any questions, there is a chat feature available. Just, I think down the bottom, there should be an option there for chat, and I'll monitor that if you want to ask any questions. So why have they done this new interface for you? Well, it's to improve the efficiency of the system and to provide a more rapid access to commonly used features. With this, users can have permissions to tailor their screens to themselves, so they can customize the look and feel of these workspaces. For instance, I'll get into that in a moment, but in the user interface, you have a list of workspaces in the left-hand menu. So these are all workspaces down here. The new UI is designed to maximize your workspace. So for instance, now we can collapse the menu to give you more form space, and we can also collapse it right to the top. So we can just have our menu as a drop down. So now we're utilizing all of our form space to work in, but I'm just going to expand it to the left-hand side there again, so it's docked on the left-hand side. The logo in the top left-hand corner, which I'm going to click on, navigates you to the home page. You can configure this to be any screen, dashboard, or report. I think that feature's already there in place, so some of you may already have that functionality where by clicking on that logo, it displays a certain dashboard specific to your role. That functionality still exists in the new version. The user interface is completely configurable in that you can streamline your work processes more efficiently, rather than clicking on the modules and suites and then clicking down the left-hand menu and then onto a tab and then into a certain area to open the form. So that practice has gone out the window. So by using the workspaces, we still have favorites, and you can assign any of these options to still be a favorite by clicking on the star. So that feature is still there. And this still gives you that functionality of accessing the favorite straight away from the screen. Workspaces replaces modules and suites, which I said to you earlier from the old interface. And you can see as you open a workspace, this window here opens up behind your form. As you can see here, the form itself is the dashboard, one of the dashboards showing me lots of widgets and reports. But as we click into a workspace, this screen is over the top of the dashboard, which is behind. So we can either click the X to close that area, workspace area, or we can just click off to the side, to the right-hand side, where we can see our dashboard to return to that previous screen. It includes, the workspaces includes areas which can be created or edited to suit the individual user. So to do that, we can customize the area by clicking on the cog button, and we can include or exclude options that we see on the screen. So here I've just clicked Journal Vouchers and Trial Balance. So now those options will be available on the screen. There's Trial Balance. This is also showing us what we call a quick menu. So what I've just done there is I've added those 2 new items to my quick menu. But we still have a range of other items if we change this to the full menu. So there's all of our items that we can access from the Finance workspace. But as we don't want to see all of the items in this workspace, we can again change it to the quick menu just to show us those options. Users can control which items appear in the workspaces by pinning and by showing you which options here appear as a workspace, should I say. So do you want banking, do you want projects, do you want payables to appear on the left-hand menu? So to do that, there is a pin icon here in the top right-hand corner. This removes or includes the option to the left-hand menu. When you unpin a workspace, it appears down the list under More Items. I wonder if my screen... There we go, More Items. So there's my accounts payable that I unpinned, and if I pin that again, it now shows there again on the left-hand side. So for instance, you might be a person that operates fixed assets. Fixed assets currently isn't on the left-hand side here as a workspace, but you can pin it there and access all the features from the screen. Now, administrators of the program, and also to an extent the end users, if they've been given permission, can access and configure how each of these elements work on the screen, these tiles and links. So to do that, we have down here the little ellipsis button and edit menu. So from here, you can customize your workspaces by either clicking on the edit icon here, the pencil, or you can add new workspaces. And from there, if you were to add a new workspace, you can add new menu items and new tiles. The tiles are these blue tiles along the top, and the menu items are what appears down the left-hand side. So you're not constrained to just the workspaces which are given to you out of the box, but you can add new workspaces and configure them up to however you like. And again, all these can be removed, or new workspaces can be added. So it really helps the users to see just what relevant information they should be clicking on. When you edit an option, you can choose which category it falls under and the tile that you want to display. So I've just edited the fixed assets, and there's a title there for fixed asset transactions. You can change this to be any of the menu options that you want in the system. So that enables you to add more options under this workspace area. So I'd suggest that you log into your demo databases that we've provided you on the links using your standard username and password. The snapshots of those were taken a couple of months ago, so it will have a bit of old data in there, but feel free to play around in there and get your users familiarized with the layout, not necessarily the editing and the customizations. That can always come later down the track, but as long as they're familiar with where they're going to see their normal processes, it will be a great start for when the update gets rolled out. A couple of other new features that I've done in here includes the search button. The search button was just a little further to the left-hand side there, and when you typed something in here, then you would then have to click search, or you would have to click a certain area to search in the system for that key code that you've just written in here, like ABC. But I've just typed ABC and done nothing else, and all of a sudden it's filtered the menus. In the menus, having a look in the menus here, the workspaces, anything in here which has the word ABC in it. So it's come up here with update ABC code and ABC codes as part of the stock take feature. What we can do here is then search any of our menu items. Maybe you don't know where they exist in this new user interface. I'm still getting my head around it. I don't know where branches is, for instance. So I could type in branches, and there we go. I can click onto branches and open that screen without having to worry about where it is on the left-hand side. So long as you have rights to see that option, it will be available to you. So if users are prevented from seeing certain screens like branches, then if they typed branches in, it wouldn't be available to them. So that was menu items, but we can also see transactions and profiles. So this has a list of any invoice numbers, customer names, or stock codes in the system that you would want to search on. So here we can see that there is an invoice in the system. I've typed an invoice, but I could have typed in the invoice number 5651, and that would have searched for the same item and highlighted that code. Help articles. Help articles is the catalogue of wiki articles in the system. So again, we've just searched ABC, and here are all the help articles for the item that we've searched for, and then files. So these are any files. So PDF, there's a PDF document here, but this could be a Word document or Excel or anything that you've got in the system. Wherever it's got a title name, ABC, it's found in the system. So those are the various the 4 types that you can search on. Those were available, those currently are available in the older version, but it was just not that clear on how to search for them. You had to type in ABC, and then you had the drop-down menu, which you had various options, and some would work and some wouldn't. So hopefully this is a far more efficient way to search for the items that you're looking for, whether it be a menu item, a transaction. You know, it's all by a click of a button to streamline processes and make things more efficient. So if somebody comes up to you and says, where's invoice number 5651, well, you can go, well, we can type in there transactions and open it immediately. Okay. And that's going to take a while to load. Great. All right. As well as that search functionality, they've also got the ability to search, to provide an online search capability. So by clicking the question mark up here on the top right-hand corner, what it's done here is opened up the online help feature specific to the page that you are on. Now this sort of functionality was there to an extent whereby you could open up the help article on the invoices and memos page, and it would tell you all the features about that screen. That's still here. So if we scroll down the list here, there'll be this option here, the form reference. So this will still tell you the elements of what the screen is doing. But on top of that previous functionality in the new version, what they've done is enabled all the other help articles related to this page available to you. Because someone might come in here and go, okay, I want help on invoices and memos. Tell me how to create a credit memo. But previously, it would just open up this invoices and memos screen and tell you about what buttons did what. And there was a help article to create a credit memo, but it wasn't easily found unless you knew what you were looking for. So now you just have to go to the screen that you want help on, and it loads any other related document in the system for help. That should help a lot. Okay, some other things that they've done is they have rendered the screens a little differently. It doesn't look too different on my screen that I'm using here at the moment on my computer, but what they've done is they've changed it. So as you can see here, as I'm minimizing the screen, to an extent, these menu options are still available on the screen, so I can still click these help options. I still have options, an option here to click on the left-hand workspaces, and I can still see my form. So I've done this because of the mobile users. People are using their phone or their mobile device, whatever that may be, which is a smaller screen than what I'm using here, so that those users have the ability to better control their flow rather than having to scroll left or scroll right, which was the case previously. So previously, if it appeared quite narrow on like a mobile device, you might just get your company logo and the search screen, but it might chop off the question mark and the user profile area. So it's better rendered for mobile devices while keeping a nice look and feel for us who use it via the computer. Now there's also a new feature for logos. You will all have your own company logo, which appears in the top left-hand corner up here, and sometimes that gets replaced with a new logo if you were to change branches. So, a different branch that you log into will change the logo in the top left-hand corner. That logo would also print on your invoices and statements. But what they've done now is the ability to, what have I done here? Click the wrong button. Go back into branches. Open up that branch. There we go. So what we had before was that we would upload your logo in the branches area into this box here, the site logo section. What they've added now is a report logo section. That enables you to have a different logo from what you're seeing on the screen in the top left-hand corner to what gets printed on your reports, whether that be an invoice or a statement. So that can be handy. And finally, for the projects area, some of you in attendance here today have projects, so this will be relevant to you. So the projects module, what the changes are done here, they've actually made quite a substantial change to many areas in projects. And as part of that, what we need to do once they have rolled out this update is we need to validate that the project balances are still correct. And they've basically dumped the old projects structure of how it's done in the database and made a new structure to the projects. So a lot of data is getting migrated behind the scenes. So by speaking with Blair or myself or one of the other advanced colleagues here, what we'll need to do is run a process to validate your project balances are still accurate. And once that's done, then you can safely use the system and that it actually validates and is correct, obviously. Apart from that, there is another change that affects people here today, and that's to do with pro forma invoices. Previously, you couldn't do a pro forma invoice in projects, but against each project, you now have this option down the bottom here called Create Pro Forma Billing. What that enables you to do by project is to build this entire project by pro forma invoice. That enables you to check what is going to be invoiced first before it actually gets invoiced. You can't have a mix of both the standard billing process and also have a pro forma style invoice against the same project. It's either one or the other. You either keep with the existing billing process for that project, or you tick this button here, which changes the project into a pro forma billing option. Okay, any questions? No questions have come through on the chat so far. Those are the main items that I wanted to cover off today. There is another change to do with project budgets in here, but I don't think any users here use project budgets. But if that is the case, we can always talk to you on a one-on-one basis. And also, there might be other features which do get slipped into this update in June or July that we're not aware of as yet. So always check to see if there are other features which I haven't discussed today closer to the time, and we'll inform you when that exact date is. And that's we don't get much of a warning. We typically get about 2 weeks warning to when that actual date will be. So thank you everyone for attending this short webinar on MYOB Advanced and the new version which is coming out in June or July. I'll hang around for a little bit longer if there are any questions. Otherwise, I'll speak to you soon, no doubt. Oh, there is one come through. Hang on. How do you switch between different company profiles? I think it's down to, I'd have to check on that actually to see how we do that. Because as far as I'm aware, it's company-wide. But we can check on that for you if you like. I've noted that down, Libby, so I'll get maybe Blair or myself to get in touch with you to see how we switch, if there are even different company profiles, how we get to them. Great, thanks everyone. Have a good day. No more questions here. I'll just stay on the line for a few more seconds, just in case one more chat item comes through. Great, thanks everyone. All right, have a good afternoon. Until next time.